So let's move on to the second panel, current trends and, intersection of smart shipping and human element. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our great pleasure to introduce the upcoming presentation on the outcome of Navigator Assembly 2023, a session that explores the fascinating intersection of smart shipping and human element. Our moderator for this enlightening discussion is Mrs. Vicky Apostolopoulou, Business Development Executive at the School of Maritime Studies at Metropolitan College. During this 15 minutes presentation, we will delve into the critical relationship between technology and human element in shipping. So, let me call the panelists. Mrs. Vasilis Kamitsis, Regional Technical Manager, IRI, the Marshall Island Registry. Mr. Dimitris Sousoudis, Sales Manager, Fleet Management Solutions, Kpler. Mr. Philip Nielsen, Founder of ORIANI. Mr. Philippos Gianakos, Area Sales Manager, Shipping Solutions, South Europe, Middle East and Africa, NAPA. And for the human element, Mrs. Marina Papaioannou, PhD, Regional Maritime Academies Manager, Maritime Service Center, DNV. And last but not least, Captain Kostas Karavasilis, Senior Loss Prevention Executive, Thomas Miller, BV Greek Branch. Welcome all.
Mostly for the human element. So let's start with, let's say, setting the scenery, though Dimitris will be the one doing it more correctly than me. Digitalization, AI, blockchain, Internet of Things, automation, quite a few terms there. And these technologies seem to help streamline existing processes. They create new business opportunities, and they transform generally the supply chain, and namely and leading to a more efficient, environmentally friendly and safer shipping operations. So technology enthusiasts even go so far as to say that there is a need to focus on technology and shipping in order to help the industry grow. From the smart shipping perspective, I will start with that. Dimitris, what are the main concepts to be discussed if we were to set the scenery? And does smart shipping has the same meaning to all? And lastly, but not least of all, do we make good use of all the data available to us?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So, smart shipping. Smart shipping is a term that resonates, I'll stick to my notes as well, as you can see, that resonates different across the maritime sector. Each different stakeholder, whether it is a ship owner, a charter, or an operator, may interpret the meaning uniquely. However, there's a common understanding that every ship is a significant source of data. We could say a silo full of data, and this data is crucial for the advancement of the industry. When you said about setting the stage for smart shipping, so we must focus on essential elements like digitalization. So it's not just about having the technology on board, it's about integrating it in a way that enhances decision-making and operational efficiency. Yet there is an acknowledgement that this transition is not without challenges, and the main challenge is the steep learning curve, and especially for those who have been in the industry for many years. They could be reluctant of change into smarter methods. So currently there is an abundance of data stored and not utilized to its full potential. The underutilization signifies a missed opportunity. Data-driven decisions have the power to improve efficiency, increase profitability, and help us avoid possible difficult situations. But for this to happen, the industry, need to embrace the technologies that can interpret and apply the data to insights. As we move forward with smart shipping, it's crucial that we leverage technology to support the people at the heart of this industry. Technology should be a tool that empowers and not a tool that complicates. Our goal should be to ensure that data becomes a cornerstone of our operations, guiding us to smarter and more informed decisions. And in conclusion, I would like to give a simple example of our everyday life. So you choose to go out on a Saturday night for a dinner. There is a process. There is data that it's being processed. You choose the type of restaurant, maybe the area. You check online for ratings. You ask friends. And this is a process that includes data-driven decisions. So if we do it on simple matters in our everyday life, the question is, why don't we apply smart shipping in our businesses?
That was quite a parallel, and very insightful as well. So, Vasilis, having, let's say, set the scenery, as we said before, the technology is here. So the stakeholders also have quite high expectations in implementing it and what they expect from its implementation. But there is the issue of implementing it. So there seems to be a gap between what stakeholders expect and what is actually feasible and needed on board the vessel. Do you think that this gap can be bridged through a more, let's say, through the regulatory framework?
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. Good day to all. Just allow me a couple of seconds first to thank the Navigator Group for the amazing event also this year, and of course the Chief Navigator, which I was about to say Captain Dimitris, but μετά από ό,τι άκουσα μάλλον πρέπει να πω για την κυρία Γιάννα, ότι είναι... well, yes, the gap, it seems to be here, but we can say that it's getting smaller and smaller day after day. We can easily use a famous quote here that we can be as smart as we are able to. So we first need to understand what we need to do and then how to do it. We have huge data availability at the moment, transfer of data, collection, but unfortunately, and talking regulatory-wise, we don't have a uniform or proper, let's say, procedural requirements in place in order to establish better evaluation criteria for this outcome.
Does that pose limitation in how smart we can be?
It's too early to say something like that, you know. It's a sensitive question, so I don't want to take a position, but let's hope that in the near future, and most probably that near future is tomorrow, it's very, very close, we will see the significance of using smart and smarter operations that we used to have in the past. Thank you very much.
You surely used less of the time given to you, so
I promise
most probably
that.
Philip will use the rest of it. We will go to Philippos and then to Philip. Philippos. Well, basic said, okay, what are the benefits from smart shipping implementation on board vessels? And, we're usually considered an industry that is slow to adapt to change and to react to disruptive changes. So how do we build trust in the new systems, and how do we effectively manage the changes that smart shipping will cause?
Thank you for the question. It's actually a very good one and easy to answer, at least the first part, regarding the benefits. Like in every aspect of our life, technology is here to help us. When you have technology at hand, you can make better decisions, you can make easier decisions, and of course, when we're talking about ships, technology can help you connect ship to shore, can help you analyze all the data that you are collecting and make decisions based on facts. That was not available in the past, in the earlier years, but you have the possibility to do it now. And that's only one of the benefits. There's countless of things I can think about, but the main point that I'd like to make is that we are smart people, and we can use technology as our tool to make our lives easier. However, as you said, people say that shipping is a slow-changing industry. For the last years, I tend to disagree at that. There has been tremendous changes, especially when you're talking about smart shipping, mainly being driven and pushed by regulations. EU MRV, IMO DCA, CII, and so on, all these new measures, and of course all the new technologies or the new providers, the services that we are putting out in the market. This is pushing all the industry to be more, to take more use of the smart technologies. In addition, we have seen that there are younger people in the office and younger people on board the ships, which are more confident with technology. They are able to use computers, they use their smartphone and tablets all the time, so it's easier for them to adapt new technologies. That being said, however, one of the key aspects for seafarers and people in the office to trust technologies is education. Right now they are being pushed, they are being dictated to use something that the company has selected to use, a technology that is being decided by others, and many times it's being imposed with poor training, and we have people that are not confident using a computer, and they are asked to do their whole operation, operate the ship through a computer. This is not the best way to do it. So better training and better understanding of how technology can help you will definitely increase the trust in smart shipping.
Well, thank you, Philippos. We will come to the training next on with the human element part of the discussion. So, Philip, do benefits come without challenges? Well, surely not, but we would like you to explain these challenges. And moreover, there are significant obstacles in actually implementing smart shipping solutions. So what are the main barriers in implementation?
Thank you, Vicky, for the questions. I don't know why I have to answer for the problems and the challenges, but anyway, I'd like to thank the 6 Bezetakos captains for inviting me. So problems, challenges, there's a lot. Just to name a few, it could be fear, it could be lack of time, speed, mentality, and silos. And if I just could touch on each of those, I'd say fear. What we've discussed in the meetings was there is a lot of fear in our industry of sharing data, of sharing experiences. And there is still people who believe that this can lead to a lack of control and to a loss of competitive advantage. But that's not really true. It will help our industry going forward. Now, concerning time, companies seem to spend quite a lot of time moving data from one side to the other and sending the data from one person to the other. What is really needed is spend time with the data. Sit down and try to understand the data, interpret the data. What is the data actually trying to tell us? Now, concerning speed, yes, maritime digital transformation is going too fast. It's maybe a bit more violent than it has been in other industries, a bit more chaotic. And there's numerous regulations coming in from 1st of January, let's say EU ETS, but that's what we have to live with. Now, concerning the mentality, which sometimes is a problem, this actually, it is true that it's the maturity of the management that actually sets the scene and sets the pace. So that is something that one should really take into account, especially because that can help bring in new people to our industry. And the final point about silos. Well, there are cases, a lot of companies, they do work, their departments work in silos, and that was discussed during the meetings. But there are also some practical difficulties. So let's say if you have an ERP, which is cross-departmental in many different departments, how do you actually evaluate the ROI? But if I just try to give a positive notion and a tip on how to proceed with smart shipping, I think one of the key things is that we have to keep in mind that this is a thing that does not belong only to the IT manager or the IT department. This must include, engage all the people within a shipping company, from top to bottom, and from bottom to top.
Perspective there.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you, Philip. So, well, there is little disagreement that smart shipping unlocks opportunities and, well, leads shipping into a new era of operations. What is certain is that smart shipping will surely affect and transform the role of the human element. So, Kostas, being a captain yourself and a previous seafarer, does embracing the change mean redefining the seafarer, and to what extent? And what do we learn from past experience in implementing technology on board the vessels? And lastly, are key human abilities, like, for example, adaptation or creativity or thinking out of the box, replaceable?
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, I would like also to thank Navigator for giving me the opportunity to be here representing the UK P&I Club. And I will start saying that back in the 90s, when I started my seafaring career, the only three things you needed to have was a bit of hard skills: how to navigate, how to load, how to preserve the engines. You needed to have a spirit of adventure and love for the sea. That was enough back then. And nowadays, everything is changing. And I would like to thank my very good friend George, who is around here. We discussed a bit earlier. And now, you know, the hard skills can be, you know, you are educated. You can take the ship from A to B. There is no way to lose your way, let's say, nowadays, especially nowadays. So, and we need to ask ourselves what kind of seafarers we want nowadays. So, yes, hard skills are there, even though the STCW standards are obsolete, to my humble opinion, and they need to be updated in order for the new generation to be able to cope with ships, because ships are becoming smarter, offices are becoming smarter, the big data is here, everything is here, and on the other hand, you have seafarers on board that cannot cope with all those things. And yes, their hard skills need to be updated, but somebody can learn the hard skills. It's not that difficult, and I think that Marina will agree with me, being, let's say, a trainer and being a teacher. So what we need from our seafarers is to have a different mindset, to be open-minded, to have the so-called, let's say, soft skills, leadership skills, and this is the difficult part. And that's the difference between my generation. I'm not that old, by the way, but, you know, as shipping is evolving very quickly, so the demands have evolved very quickly. So back then, the model of leadership was different. Now we need from our leaders on board ships to think out of the box, as you said, to be able to understand. And the good or bad thing, I leave that to you to decide, is that now we have immediate connectivity with the office, whereas back in the days we had the telex, or, you know, you could call the office via a LAS radio, or, you know, all of these obsolete means of communications. Now the captain and the chief engineer can talk directly to the office, no matter what time it is. So, and they need to find a way to understand better what the office says. And this is a matter not of hard skills again, it's a matter, you know, to be able to understand and guide the guy in the office and be guided accordingly. So, yes, I think we need to redefine the role of the seafarer. But that comes to us, the people who are in the office, I mean, the people who run the business, not only the managers or the principals, the owners, but also the service providers, to assist everybody, to make sure that the people who run our ships are able to cope with all the changes that we have in land. I think we will do it. I mean, we have proven in last years that we can cope with everything, and the only thing that now needs to be upgraded, let's say, is our seafarers, and I truly believe that. And, you know, lastly, being in the club and seeing what's going on board ships from a different view, from an insurer's view, I can reassure you that we need more job towards this.
Thank you. So, Marina, from a competency development perspective, smart shipping poses a great challenge. So, what types, since you represent the academic part of the discussion, the training part of the discussion, let's say, what types of skills will be required for the future professionals of the maritime industry, either on board or ashore, because both are affected by technology changes? And how do we achieve reskilling our existing professionals? And do we expect to see new professions and emerging in the industry?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. You know, Vicky, I can talk for hours, but I only have 3 minutes, as I'm told. So I have my notes here, so as not to forget something important. It's very nice that we are having this wrap-up discussion here, as it comes after the panels that we had in the previous meetings that led us to this Navigator Forum. And we discussed the human element very in depth in 4 or 5 such panels. And it was great to have this experience, and I will try with the few comments that I will make now, trying to answer Vicky's questions, to also wrap up the discussions we had, express my own views, but also tell you what everybody else thought in the panels that we had. So, in view of the coming changes on decarbonization and digitalization mainly, the human element is again on top of the agenda. And this is very rightfully so, because we will be asking our seafarers to work in a different way, and we need to support them to sustain, attain the skills, both hard and soft, and also to be able to cope, as Costa said. And by coping, we mean embrace a top-to-bottom safety culture, giving equal weight to managing human, operational, and technological risk, thus having a hot approach, as we in DNV say. This is achieved through shared values, beliefs, and conscious and non-conscious ways of thinking that impact safety behavior under a strong safety leadership again. I would like to emphasize the focus on leadership, as it will be these leadership teams on board that will help support crew training, and they should be given the necessary management skills to lead the implementation of new systems and tools through their teams on board. Seafarers face many challenges related to regulations and technology in the next decades. They will have increased levels of automation, and this will require the seafarers to work and maintain advanced digital systems. The role of the seafarer in operating greener technologies and implementing environmentally friendly practices on board. Technical skills are very important, but personal, organizational, and management skills will be critical for the successful implementation of new technologies. Developing these skills will allow seafarers of the future to maximize their effectiveness, work cohesively with teams, and leverage the latest technologies. On the technical skill side now, there will be many requirements which we are not yet ready to face, I have to say, because the picture is not clear as to the direction we are going to take, especially regarding decarbonization. IMO has given us some guidelines on training requirements, but we need comprehensive model courses that will allow us to plan for the training that our seafarers will need in the future. And it will allow also training institutions to develop the necessary training programs and, more importantly, discover the expertise that will help us develop and deliver the courses. This expertise is yet to be found because we don't have it at hand. This will be a great challenge for all of us, and especially for the people that will operate the vessels of the future, who I am sure will need a different level of training. If they are to develop their competence and be prepared for the next career role, either on board or ashore. I think that this is what we concluded in the panel as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't see any questions here at the application. Is there any questions that you would like to ask? No? Okay, so we have a few minutes left. So would you like to, let's say, give a 30 seconds tip to the floor? Dimitris?
All right, so yes, of course. Shipping is an amazing sector. I've learned that for the past 9-10 years that I'm working with some of you, and I hope to work with many of you. The thing that makes it amazing is that it's fragmented and united at the same time. So my suggestion would be for you to find these partners out there that they could help you transform the data, okay, trust them, talk to them, and help them build the solution for you. The solutions are there. The data is there to show us the way. So that would be my tip.
Well, thank you. Vasilis?
I would totally agree. The tendency to going smarter is being forever. It's not new. However, nowadays, and because of the parameters associated, we tend it to be more and more. However, and if I can speak regulatory-wise, we need to be flexible enough in order to understand the current issues and also to accept alternatives and not only one way of achieving that. Thank you.
Philip?
Yeah, I think the key thing is to put data at the epicenter of everything we do and the interpretation of this data. And then to keep in mind that digital transformation is about people, not software.
Fantastic. Thank you. Philippos?
I would say that don't be afraid of the change. Like this is the thematic of the conference. The change is here, and the better you prepare today, the more prepared you will be tomorrow. Change is inevitable, and regulations, requirements, the whole market is pushing you to change. And don't be afraid of technology. Don't be afraid of making use of your younger people. Embrace the future today so that you are ready for tomorrow.
Thank you, Philippos. Marina?
As I'm talking about the human element, I would like to ask everybody, and me including, to try and put the smile back in the faces of our seafarers, especially after COVID time. We need to do this, and we need to support them as much as we can. We need to support them to find dignity and significance and meaning in their work. And this we will only achieve through a safety, cultured environment. And remember, as everything, as in ISM, very old thing to quote, but forever relevant, everything comes from the top. So safety culture comes from the top. This is how this is spread through the company and to the vessels. Remember this, and let's do it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Kostas?
I think that Marina made the best comment. Make sure that the seafarers are smiling. Again, I used to smile when I was on board ships, believe me. It was harder without communication, no internet, nothing. I was in the middle of nowhere. Still, I was happy. And having visited vessels lately, I see the smile that I used to have is not there anymore. Embrace the crew members. Choose the best. Give them initiatives to come and work on board your vessels. Happy crew is making the vessel profitable, no matter what the market is. So make them feel important. They are important. Without them, our ships cannot go anywhere. We are not still in the autonomous ship era. This will come in 30, 40, 50 years from now. So until then, we need them. They are the core of our business. So keep them happy, keep them trained, choose the best, give them initiatives, and embrace them.
Well, thank you, Kostas. Well, embrace the change we must, navigate the change successfully we will, as we have in the past. So thank you all for hearing us and giving us the time for this panel. Thank you.